Hello, my name is Amy and we're here at the Teacher Educator Conference in Hyderabad in India. And I have with me Krishna Dixit, who is one of the speakers from the conference. He's the National Coordinator for INET, a network of English teachers here in India, which we'll hear a bit more about later in the interview. So first of all, Krishna, I'd just like to thank you for your talk. I found it very interesting. Krishna spoke about teacher motivation for professional development. And I'd like to pick up on a couple of the things that you talked about. The first one is you mentioned about needing to take a 360-degree view of professional development for teachers. I wonder if you could just say a bit more about that.
Well, what happens when we talk about teachers' professional development is we just focus on teachers. Mm-hmm. We believe that it's only teachers who are responsible for the professional development. But their professional development is actually dependent on several other factors. For example, institutional support, family support, financial support, and so on and so forth. So, and besides, there are major stakeholders like students. Mm-hmm. Do they like their teachers doing new things with them? And there are also some policy issues. For example, in my presentation, I referred to National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education. It says that teachers can just avail only 3 to 4 days a year for professional development, mm-hmm. and that too on the discretion of the principal. So we need to have a 360, a full rounded view of what major stakeholders think about teachers' professional development. That is what is needed, that's what I feel.
Yeah, and I think that chimes very nicely with what Alison Barrett was saying in her plenary session this morning as well. She made a very similar point, didn't she? And the second thing that I wanted to pick up on from your talk was you mentioned about English teachers clubs and that you've been working on developing those. So again, could you tell us a bit about those?
English Teachers Club started as a movement some 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they were actually initiated by my mentor Amol Padwad. Uh-huh. So I started working with him, and I also set up a club in my place, which is Wardha, near Nagpur. And basically it is a self-help group, and we meet once in a month at some member's place. It's actually some member's place. We don't have any designated official space for that. And we talk about our own experiences, how we did in our classrooms. And it went on for a while, let's say for 3 to 4 years, and now we are doing some collective study. We have set up a small library. We do collective reading of articles, and we share information about academic events, professional development opportunities, and things like that.
Yeah, sounds
they're going well.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud to say that I'm a product of English Teachers Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And you were saying to me earlier how when they first started, you spent a lot of time just crying on each other's shoulders.
Yes. Yeah. First, we just talked about the problems and problems, and we blamed the system. Mm-hmm. And now there is a clear change in the perspective, in the attitude. Now we don't blame the system. Yeah. We look at our opportunities. What can I do? Yeah. Whatever little that I can contribute, so I will do it.
Yeah. And taking responsibility for that. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, and lastly, I just wanted to ask you about INET. INET is the All India Network of English Teachers. That's right, isn't it? And you're a national coordinator for that. So could you tell us a bit more about INET?
It's actually INET started as a Hornby project. Amol and I, we are Hornby scholars, and we applied for it. We wanted to set up a sort of network because we felt that the routine teacher associations, by routine teacher association I mean with office bearers and with face-to-face meetings and things like that. We were not interested in that. We wanted to have an online community of English teachers, which will operate basically through website. So we applied for that project, and it was approved by Hornby Trust, and it started as a project in 2012. And the project is over now. That project period is over now, but now it's an established online community of teachers with about 600 members. And there are 3 things that I think it's important to mention about INET. One is it supports teacher development activities by publishing newsletters, by giving information about academic events, by providing resources, and by providing a platform for teachers. Teachers can contribute to INET. It's an open platform. Second is we are planning to run courses, online courses for teachers. Actually in the pipeline there are 2 things. We want to run a professional English proficiency course for teachers working in rural areas. And there is a huge demand from teachers to start courses on research methodology. they want to undertake research in applied linguistics in ELT, and they haven't got any background in that. So that is the second thing. And the third important thing is we are a part of IETFL now. So we want to have a wider global network, and that's what we are aiming for, and I think we are succeeding in that. Yeah.
Well, the website's certainly very good. I've had a look at it myself, and there's lots of interesting and useful resources on there. And in fact, we'll put the link to the INET website in the description for this interview, so our viewers will be able to also go and have a look. Okay, well, thanks very much, Krishna.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
nice.
you very much.
Thanks
My
for taking
pleasure.
the time to